Good morning, everyone. How are we this morning? I see somebody thought I didn't start quite fast enough, but hopefully they'll be back. Sorry, I'm still not used to OBS yet, and it takes me a while to get things set up and rolling so that they're actually functioning properly. So, some of you may have seen me playing Help Will Come Tomorrow earlier. I originally had done it on the easiest possible setting and the easiest possible adventure. This is the hardest possible adventure, and I have never successfully beat it even on the easy setting. So, chat gets to decide. I'm either going to do it on the easiest setting, or I can do it on Survivor, and you can watch while I die even faster. I think people are definitely ducking out because I didn't start fast enough. That's a shame. So what would we prefer? Quick death or slower, more lingering death? Group decision. Apparently we don't have a whole lot of people who feel very passionately about this, so either that or the lag is much worse than usual this morning, and I always think it seems terrible anyway. So we'll start it as is. Well, that works well, Rio. That's exactly what I chose. Slow, painful deaths. Alright, I'm gonna wait just a minute for the lag to catch up here. So, this is a very different team than I had last time. I think Alexei was in the last one. Anna definitely was. Anna is... So, for those of you who missed it last time, you get random characters every time. You know, like, you don't get to pick... Well, I mean, you can, but on the random mode, you don't get to pick who your characters are. And they all have benefits, and they all have downsides. In my opinion, the exception is Anna. Anna tends to be the one who picks catfights, causes everyone to, like, get into fights, and about the only thing she brings to the team is that eventually she learns to sew. Looks like they're about to start singing. So the goal of this game is that you not only have to do kind of resource hoarding like you do in a lot of games, but you also have to keep them from fighting. Because if camp morale or individual morale goes down too much, they'll simply refuse to do anything. And so you end up with characters who just won't take actions. And then everyone freezes to death and they die. Which is kind of not the purpose. So the easiest version of this game is that you just have to deal with the weather. Like, that's the worst of it. You get enough food, enough shelter, you're fine. The middle level is you have to deal with the weather and you have to deal with the terrorists. And then this level, you have to deal with the weather and the terrorists and wolves and a man-eating bear. And I have survived everything except the man-eating bear. The man-eating bear gets me every time. Which is why I kind of... having played this game for a couple of years now, and lost to the bear every time, this is one of the reasons that I laughed when the whole man versus bear thing came up. I understand this is just a video game, but it was still kind of funny. So the upside is I seem to be starting out with some fairly reasonable supplies. When you do the unsnow, you get your starting supplies, and some of those are good and some of those are not great. Okay, so Alex in this game gets the trait messy. So when he builds things, he's not very precise. And so he can do makeshift. So you get makeshift and you get solid. Makeshift is basically sloppier creations, but they require less supplies. But when they're working with someone, they tend to bring that person's morale down if that person does not also have the messy trait. So we're gonna do makeshift and we're gonna change... Yeah, so see, these two still don't get along well, but better than he did with the soldier, because the soldier is used to doing things very precisely. Ooh, I did not get a lot of cloth. That is not great. It's nice to have a lot of wood, but having cloth really can make a huge difference. Interesting. I have never seen someone get focused and messy, both as a trait. Okay, so we're gonna filter some water, which will allow everyone to have a drink. They don't, so, negative consequences show up here, so if someone gets too tired, too thirsty, too hungry. In a pinch, you can wait until those show up, but I've never had good luck doing that. Getting a jump on keeping them happy always seems to work better. When I'm playing Civ, I focus hard on mines and forests. So there's not a lot of that. I mean, the whole point is that they don't have tools, like, at all. And so they basically pick up dead branches or, Ooh, we still can do this. Excellent. They pick up dead branches, they, scavenge stuff from the wreck. They basically don't have any tools to start with, so... okay, and Alex earned back a point, so I guess we're gonna have him filter some more water. When in doubt, have them filter water. Because there's always gonna come a point where you're low on water. So that's the end of the first day. It's pretty quick. You have to build a fire on the first day. You have to get to the point where you can filter water on the first day. Those are your main goals. So, these choices are how you decide, well, that's not quite right. They're how morale gets either built or lost. You start out where camp morale is always going to go down at the beginning, but what you try and do is build the individual morale between the characters. And the general rule of thumb is to always do the introductions first, because it automatically gets that person 15 morale points with every other player. So, Alex's introduction. I know it's Alexi, but... Dear comrades in misery, I don't want to worry you, but our situation is serious. Ooh, he also gets well educated. This character has received extensive education and can share useful curiosities in conversation. Wow, that gives him three traits so far already. That's a lot really fast. It's unusual. Given the weather and our current diet, we won't survive long without fresh meat and aspirin. We're at risk of scurvy, and simple cold will weaken our bodies. Anna almost always gets the conservative trait. She keeps to old established rules, and keeping to old established rules is crucial to this character. She tends to use that as an excuse to argue that she shouldn't have to do anything. Aspirin. This damn German chemistry. You look like a scholar, so you know that primitive people lived without aspirin. And they died, not even 30 years old on average. Because of runny nose? Sometimes also because of scurvy. Must you be such a pessimist? Do you really think we will all die? Everyone? I don't know. I can see the beginning of scurvy in me. My tooth is moving. It's moving because you hit your jaw on the floor during the accident. The shock during the collision may have caused me micro-traumas, which will manifest themselves soon. Yeah, he is a kind of a terrible hypochondriac. And Sergi's introduction. Are you coming back from the front, soldier? Me? I'm not a soldier. So a scholar or a priest, perhaps? The farmhand would not be in the train compartment. I admit that in our situation I would be very happy to have any military person with us. This is the past. My division ceased to exist. When the Bolsheviks come to power, they will withdraw all troops from the front. And when the idea is installed in the proletarians of other countries, no war will be necessary. He's also kind of an idiot. Do you think they will come to power without a fight? So, he is a pacifist. This character avoids quarrels and tries to ease disputes. The war will probably never end. Only the battlefields and banners change. Go to the devil with all of this. Oh, sorry, which one's a commie? They all, like, the whole point is that they all have very different perspectives, and this takes place right at the fall of the Tsar in Russia. And so part of what it makes it hard for them to get along is the fact that they all come from very different backgrounds during this time of really massive trauma. The man with... Oh, Alexei? He is... I'm trying to remember. Because there is one who is like a full-on, like, communist. He is actually considered, like... I'm trying to remember. He's kind of a... I don't want to say an antagonist, but he tends to rile people up. So his perspectives change depending on who he's with. Like when the full-on communist is there, he gets accused of, like, being a fence sitter, basically. So you always have to go to the river fairly quickly because you need clay in order to build something for food. You have to keep an eye on the number of actions. If you run out of actions, you get lost, and your loss probability bar is up here. That can also cause you issues, but that's usually when the weather starts to get really bad. Whoops, I apparently had already searched there. That was dumb. You have no idea why someone would put a straw scarecrow in the middle of the forest. However, apparently someone did. A surreal image of a silent idol slumbering under a coat of snowcaps doesn't make you feel good. Maybe it's a scarecrow, you say to yourselves, but where is the field it guards? The forest idol was assembled from dry wood, which will definitely be more useful in the camp. I was kind of hoping to get a coat out of it. Guess not, though. I am losing actions much faster than I usually do this early in the game. Alright, return to camp. I think we're going to have to send out a second expedition because I didn't get nearly enough stuff. Let's try going south. We'll see if we can get some stuff from the... Ooh, that was a pretty good haul. Apparently this is risky no matter what I do, but... Oh. This character has a chance to find additional resources during the collect or exploration action. Okay, so this is where it gets tricky. So there's a bad guy here. If I move, I'm gonna lose a turn, and I won't get anything. If I do a search, there's a chance I'm gonna get shot at. Okay, we're all good. I guess we're just gonna go north, because I don't really want to risk danger this early. And then I guess we're gonna head back, because we've got some berries, so we can at least get something to eat. Nobody seems terribly thirsty, which is good. So, let's see if we can make some oh, we have to upgrade to the stove first. So they're gonna build the stove, and then I'll have her make some soup, and it won't be great, but at least it'll give me something to feed them. I try really hard not to feed them bugs, because that decreases their morale, like, a lot. Morning, Eraser! Thank you very much. Yeah, for anybody who missed it, the computer fund had, like, a huge boost yesterday. There were 3 people that donated, which gets me to the point where if... I mean, I basically need to cover taxes at this point, as long as the sales continue. Because it's, you know, there's places already starting Black Friday sales. So yeah, the chances that I might be able to get my computer early without it causing quite so much of an issue. Alright. Alex is shivering. There's not a whole lot I can do about that at this point. She's still hungry. She has the trait that means that she's basically hungry a lot more than other people are. And she starves faster than other people. I can't do much about the cold for him. Once again, when in doubt, have him filter water. Yeah, Eraser, in case you missed it, this is This is the adventure with the bear, which I lose all the time. I have laid down a house for us on No Man's Sky for everyone to use. Oh, cool. I am really looking forward to that, when I can actually make the stupid thing work. That has been on my wish list of things I wanted to play for a very long time. But, yeah, I just... Even before I started having the recent issues with the computer, it's just... I've never been able to handle it. 16-year-old computer is just too rough. Alright, let me introduce myself. I cannot even begin to pronounce that. Interesting, Dimitrovich. I can actually do better than his first name. I presume that none of you has pickled cucumbers. Are you asking seriously, or do you realize what situation we are in? Yeah, he's a drunk. When sober, they lose morale at night. When drunk, their morale increases. Vodka, by the way, is considered a major resource in this game, as are cigarettes. When you have characters in shock, you give them cigarettes. Of course I'm aware of that. We're damned far from the distillery. But what is this jabbing me in my side? Come on, baby, come to your uncle. I have never seen that. I wonder if there was a This was actually originally a Russian game. I wonder if there was a translation issue there. And here comes Anna. I'm cold. Get me out of here. Maybe you'd like some caviar? I beg your pardon. Easy, miss. A bit of humor would do no harm in this situation. Humor? I'm frozen to the bone. Please do something. My poor Varela. She would bring my fur now, and she would brew chai with abrak. I don't know. Anyone know what abrak is? But those butchers. My poor Varela. And Aunt Naska? I don't know how one does an STK. Crying won't bring them back to life. You should worry about yourself now. I actually have to say I'm impressed. In most games, she never shows any concern for any other people at all. Why did we leave St. Petersburg? We should have stayed at the estate of the prince. Auntie, I should have accepted his proposal. So, camp morale continues to drop until we get a better fire or a warmer... Alright. There's water. Let's at least get her out of starvation mode. I think we're gonna end up eating some raw food here. Iron stomach. This character can digest almost anything. Indigestion and poisoning last for a shorter time. Well, that's handy. I mean, being poisoned usually is, At this point, she is an idiot. Yeah, oh, don't get me wrong. She is totally an idiot. Sorry, Khudka. The nobility were actively fleeing the empire. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. This takes place... It's a little sketchy as to whether or not it takes place while the fighting is still going on, or... during the... like, right after he abdicated. Alright, makeshift. These are my makeshift guys. So the reason I worry about this one is that your chance of getting lost gets lower with the fence. You eventually can build stuff that allows you to hide your fire, which allows for a bigger fire. And you can set snares. So you can pick up critters. This might be the fastest I've ever managed to get through this part. Oh, you guys really are good luck. I mean, somebody's gonna have to repair this because it's in terrible, terrible shape, but... Alright, so we've been able to double our fire on, like, the second day. That's kind of amazing. And we got a tent. The stream is back. I'm busy getting killed by a bear. Or at least, you know, I will be busy getting killed by a bear. Alright, and this will allow me to let 2 rest, which is important because I noticed I've already got 2 people. Oh, I've got 3 people that are tired now. Well, darn it. And I'm going to have both of them filter water because I seem to be going through water much quicker than usual. Alright, so rest. You can get up to 3 people resting at a time. Can I get it to 50? I can get it to 50 without screwing up the visibility. Oh, wait, that was dumb. I put the cold people in there instead of... Oh, stop it. Stop it! Cancel. I put the cold people in there instead of the tired people. Alright, who's tired? I think if I remember correctly, sleep is kind of wasted on the soldier. I think he's a short sleeper. He gets tired, but then he doesn't sleep, so... Alright, so, now we're gonna get to the point where you guys get to start making choices. So, Rio, you were first into the chat, so... do you want Let's Wait for the Patrol, A Real Lady, Crash and Slaughter, Let's Check the Northern River, or Premium Non-Noctur? Oh, did you leave? You got here just in time to make a choice. Let's Wait for the Patrol, A Real Lady, Crash and Slaughter, Let's Check the Northern River, or Premium Non-Noctur. Crash and Slaughter, alright. We were saved from the disaster and avoided the slaughter. It's unthinkable. Do you know if anyone else has survived? The train was derailed with dynamite. Shortly afterwards, the attackers blew up one of the rear cars where the soldiers were traveling. They must have known where to hit. Then they shot the survivors without mercy. Those who have survived could hide in the woods or somewhere in the wreck. We must stay together until help arrives. We are in the middle of Siberia without appropriate clothes and food, surrounded by thugs after us. How much longer can we survive in such conditions? 1, 2 days at most. In that case, let's hope that help will come tomorrow. Look at that. We got the morale back up. About halfway. Good job. Let's see. Tater, you were next into the chat. Let's move to the train wreck. Let's wait for the patrol. Good spirit. Let's negotiate with the renegades. Or let's check the Northern River. I'm amused they call them renegades. I guess this was before terrorists became, you know, the obvious choice of words. I also need to know who's lurking, because lurkers don't get to get out of making decisions. This is how I, did... I asked somebody to make decisions, and they disappeared. Yeah, last time I actually did better than usual, because, everybody was making decisions I would not have thought to have made, so... I'm asking you! You were the second in chat, so you get to make the second decision. Alright, move to the train wreck it is. Being in the woods is a stupidity. We don't have a decent roof or walls. We are sitting on some makeshift... What do you suggest? Call a coach and order an apartment? Stop teasing me rudely. I suggest we move to the hideout of one of the cars. We'll be better protected from the wind there. Okay, you get a secondary choice. We won't be safe from the thugs, or okay, let's think about it. Let's think about it, okay? Well, let's think. The walls and ceiling will give us better protection from the gale, but we will not be able to light the fire, otherwise we will immediately get the attention of the thugs. It's risky, but if you care so much, you can spend the night in one of the compartments and in the morning let us know if it was really better than in the camp. You'll see I can do it. Alright, you got us a side quest. Oh dear. Okay, so this is what happens. He had to do a morale test, and he failed, so now he only has 2 actions available to him. This is what happens if they have a condition off to the side here that doesn't get fixed at the end of the... session. Alright, can he cook? Come on. We don't have enough to cook with. Alright, expedition it is. We're actually gonna have to send out a couple expeditions, because she's got the side quest. But we'll start with this one and see how it goes. Let's see. We don't know what's up here yet. Other than the fact that you can get clay from the river, everything is pretty random as to what you can get. Rabbits are the only thing that you can hunt without a weapon, and it's pretty rare you're actually going to catch one. Yeah. Yep, that's what happens. You throw a rock at it, it hops away. You reach the pass from where you can see a wide view of the surroundings. As far as the eye can see, a dark cedar forest stretches on the horizon, covering ridges, valleys, and mountaintops. Only in the west you can see a break in the treetops. You know the river runs through it. Meanwhile, in the immediate area, your attention is drawn by tree bark, stripped of bark at the ground. The wood hasn't darkened yet, so it must have been debarked quite recently. Is it a bear's deed? Oh, good lord, the bear is showing up early this time. It makes no sense to collect bark. It's moist, so it'll be poor fuel. They say that the crazier people peel edible strips from it, but for this you need to have an iron stomach instead of healthy senses. Pardon me. You hurry away from this grove before the animal that clawed those trees smells you out. I'm getting everything except food. This is a little frustrating. Well, I got some raw eggs, I guess. Alright, back we go. We'll send Anna out alone to go check on the train. You don't understand why it was you who had to leave the camp. The Siberian forest is definitely not the place for an aristocrat. Haven't you already been cold enough? Expeditions are a task for men. Let them force their way through snowbanks and carry the branches. Your teeth are chattering from the cold with every strong gust of icy wind. Maybe it would be good to hide under a trunk for a moment. You'll wait out the worst blizzard and move again as soon as it clears up a bit. It can't blow all day, can it? I don't want to have to deal with her sitting around, so... The wind is relentless, but the sooner you gather what you need, the sooner you will return to the warm camp. You swear you will light a decent fire when you return. Yeah, Dory, don't worry what the internet says, you'll be safer with the bear. Yeah, yeah. Now I get eaten by the bear all the time. Alright. You reach a car with 4-person closed compartments and comfortable couches. Why should I sleep in a frosty forest if I can move here? After all, even without a heated floor, the car will provide great shelter from wind and snow. All you need to do is find a good way to hide from the bandits. And they could have left this area long ago anyway. The car didn't suffer much during the disaster, and after a moment of struggling with the door, you go inside. Unfortunately, some of the windows in the corridor are broken, probably after the shooting, and the inside is covered with snow. But that's nothing. The windows will be covered with a rug or some branches. It'll be less work than building a shelter. You look around carefully to make sure no one is watching you, then quietly slide the door of the first compartment and slip inside. There's a lot of snow on the seats, almost completely covering the window. You shake off a little bit of snow to have somewhere to sit down. And quail with surprise. There's a dead man under the snow. The numb body is trapped in an ice tomb. One of his hands supports the ripped belly while the other disappears somewhere into the blackened snow. The worst, however, is the face, or rather the lack of it. Something literally bit it before the body froze. You stop by the wall, unable to take your eyes off the macabre scene. You sweep away more hard snow in disgust, trying not to look too much at the devoured head. The unfortunate man was probably pushed into the stomach with a bayonet or something and left here to die. You find some scattered ammunition in the snowdrift, but there's no weapon. Either it was taken or is hidden somewhere under the ice block. That's enough for you. You quietly retreat and sneak into the next compartment. Fortunately, there's no passenger in the next compartment. The window was not broken, and only some snow came in from the corridor. Under the white snow, you can see scattered luggage. Probably nothing valuable, but still you look around for some clothes. Suddenly, you hear human voices from outside the window. These are 2, or at least 3 bandits. They're talking about something loudly, apparently without expecting any danger. You stick to the wall and listen. From the bits of conversation, you understand they see 1 or 2 survivors in the area. They are afraid if they leave witnesses alive, one day someone might recognize their faces and send them to the rope. Fortunately, in the cold, they don't want to scour the area, but they probably decide to organize rec routes every evening. And that's all when you come with the idea of comfortable accommodation. The renegades are talking about the hunted wolverine for a while, but their voices are fading away. Your luck. To be sure, you wait 1 or 2 quarters of an hour, then leave the car as carefully as possible. You must go back to the camp. Methinks I sent you to the bear. No, don't worry, the bear will be along soon enough. Alright, so she is in shock, which means she gets cigarettes. Because that's how this game works. It amuses the heck out of me, mind you, but... Oh, I do not have a whole lot of goodies here. Bean soup, maybe? Can we do bean soup? We can do bean soup. In fact, we can... Well, no. We could do 2 batches of bean soup if it weren't for the fact that we're low on water. Again. course, the other possibility is I have these eggs, which have to get eaten raw, and which go bad super fast, so I guess we're gonna try and... They can't eat more than one, though. Good lord, she is hungry. I've never had a group that ate this much. Even the ones that aren't listed as being chronically hungry are eating a ton. Alright. More rest. Alright. I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce that name, so I'm just gonna call you Landy. Landy, you are next on the decision-making. So, enough with the singing. Let's wait for the patrol, a real lady. Let's check the Northern River, and an overhead conversation. Overheard conversation. Alright, you mentioned you overheard a conversation of these butchers. What did you find out? First of all, someone else has survived the catastrophe. The renegades tried to track down 2 people. If we can find those survivors, they will definitely be good allies. We have to warn them somehow. It's not good that the bandits know someone has survived. But in these conditions, every ally is at a premium. Unfortunately, they've decided to patrol the wreck for several days. They're afraid they may be hanged if someone recognizes them. They will kill the witnesses. If they are afraid of being recognized, it means they may be locals. If they wanted to bolt somewhere far away with their prey, they wouldn't care about any witnesses. Do you know anything about their numbers? 3 or more of them talked near the train, but the conversation showed that there was at least one more group. They are led by someone called Yegor. They spoke the name with fear. They said Yegor is around some pass, but when he comes back, he will be furious that someone has survived. A pass? Do you know where? Unfortunately not, but if I get it right, they are mainly south of the tracks. They complained they don't want to get ear frostbite in the woods and by the river. This is valuable information. Well done. This is the first time Anna has ever been useful in all the times I've played this game. Her last words will be, "Look at its pawsy-wazzies." Actually, I think most of the time she ends up dying to the wolves long before we ever get to the part with the bear. Eraserhead! Demons from the past. Let's wait for the patrol. Let's negotiate with the renegades. Predestination, or let's check the Northern River. Wakey wakey, Eraser. Check the river. Alright. I think this also gives us a side quest. Why should we be stuck in this forest in the cold? When we were still driving, a bend of a river could be seen to the north. We have to get to it. I think it's the Selenga or some influent of it. Anyway, all rivers in this area flow into Bekal. That's what I'm talking about. We will build a raft, and the next thing we see is Yeah, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. A raft on the ice-bound river? Or let's discuss this idea. Eraser gets to keep making decisions. Oh, have a good day. I'm glad you got to make decisions this time. Thank you. You did a good job. I think he's like 6 hours ahead, if I remember correctly. Okay. Raft. Have you seen the rivers here? They are icebound. How do you want to float the raft on it? When the armed killers are prowling around, everything is better than sitting here and listening to your babbling. Maybe we'll build a sleigh. The river will lead us. Nonsense, we haven't got a team, or this is not so stupid. What do you think, Eraser? Backhanded, well, you're not that stupid, or nonsense, we haven't got a team? Alright. I think Eraser's gone off to get more coffee. We'll go with the backhanded compliment. Well, at least let's look at the river and check the ice condition. Maybe without a team we can push the sleigh with supplies somehow. Alright, we got all our turns back this time. Excellent. Alright, we got 2 starving and 2 regular hungry. The starving people get to eat the gross things. That's what they get for whining. So I don't think, if I remember correctly, soup does not actually up morale very much, but it decreases cold. Different foods do different things. Alright. Hanayama-san! Welcome! Good morning! I should probably start building shelter is not the word I'm looking for. This is the area that you build, like, the makeshift hospital. Soup does not up morale, spoiled heathens. Well, so stew will up morale and decrease cold. Soup, if I remember correctly, just decreases cold. Oh, he's a medic. Excellent. I could use one of those. Okay, so this unlocks care. This unlocks wound dressing and antidote. So I think I usually end up needing this first, if I remember correctly. So we'll go for that. Simple covers. I don't know what this does. Reduces character's freezing level. I guess we need care more than we need. Imagine not having a morale boost after a nice thick chicken. Okay, so there is also delicious soup. And delicious soup also will increase morale and yeah. There's a whole lot of, like, levels to these things, which is kind of a pain. Alright, the shelter, I remembered the shelter really needs repair, so. We at least need it to not fall in, you know, the minute the wind blows hard. And we will send an... Oh yeah, I forgot. We have to go do the... I totally forgot there was a side quest. She gets to go do another side quest. Alright, we really need food, so we're going to take this route. We do not need poisonous mushrooms, but we'll take everything else. Garlic, eggs, berries. Well, I guess we're not really going to get anything... Not going to get anything any better going the other way. Water... We haven't been here yet. We'll try this. I am definitely losing action points faster than usual. They most likely would also complain about hot chocolate and some fresh white bread. Hello, the Beast! Good morning! Alright. Return to camp. I don't think we got a lot out of that, but at least a little. And... I guess we'll just do the filter water thing. How much water have we got? Ooh, we can make some more soup. Can we make delicious soup? We can make delicious soup. So there we go. Now you get your warm-up and your morale. Alright. So these two are going to get a nap. And Hanayama-san, you're up next for making decisions. Oops. The night is coming, and as usual, you make sure your supplies are well secured and you have enough brushwood to stay warm until morning. Meanwhile, Sergi is sitting under a tree, his back to you. Maybe this dodger is secretly eating something? Ivanov, if I see you took an extra portion... Sergi turns around, hiding something in his pocket. Relax, I didn't steal anything, I'm coming. Yes, and what are you hiding there? The boy stops, hesitating. Oh, nothing like that. Come on, we'll arrange the brushwood before it gets dark. Sergi, we promise to share all the riches of the area and not keep anything to ourselves. Okay, let it be. Clearly confused, Sergi pulls a written-over card from under his shirt. I'm writing a letter. It goes slowly, since I'm no poet, and I don't have much time. Anyway, the days are short, and after work I rarely have enough light to finish. A letter? And what can I ask is the name of the beloved one? Natalia, but why do you say beloved? Have you read over my shoulder? No, boy, it was the blush that betrayed you. Aw, how cute. So you can make berry tea out of the blueberries. Hanayama-san, hypochondriac. Anna is freezing. Let's wait for the patrol? Anna's voyage? Or Sergi's paranoia? What's your pleasure? Paranoia sounds lovely. Alright. Sergi, why do you protest so much about increasing the fire? It's clear we have to hide from the thugs who derailed the train. Where do you get the idea they're still in the area? We heard them hunting yesterday. Correction. You heard. No one was with you then. None of us heard any gunshots. Alright, does Anna support Sergi, or does she support the drunk? Does she think the soldier knows what a gun sounds like, or does she think the drunk is, is somehow better? I shouldn't laugh so much, because in this game, sometimes you never know. Hanayama-san. Are you off getting a cup of hot water? I had to check and make sure I wasn't muted because he responded the first time so quickly. Well, if only one guy heard gunshots, and he's already a bit of "we are doomed," did he hear them, though? So I say support the drunk guy. Alright, drunk guy it is. The forest carries the sound of gunshots well, and yet here we heard nothing. I'm telling you, it's a miracle they didn't catch our trace. Even so, it was before the blizzard. The weather has definitely chased the renegades away and covered all of our traces to the camp. These butchers returned many times to the wreck, killing the survivors and stealing what they could. Don't you think they could have a base somewhere nearby? If they had, they would have found us long ago. We're only a few versts from the track. Alright, it's better not to continue the discussion, or you know better, you have to be careful. This will argue till the... Or they will argue till the... something of the universe, so leave it be. Man, I didn't think I would ever see Hanayama-san back away from an argument. Maybe you're right. Alright, Camp Minerala and up. Good job. Da Beast. Your turn. Anna is freezing. Predestination. Let's wait for the patrol. Natural selection or hypochondriac. Eraser, thank you very much. Does anyone know how they're doing? I haven't heard any updates recently as to how Rachel and her mom are making out. Natural selection. Okay. The fact we've managed to survive this disaster makes us think. I don't want to see the railway anymore. My dear, you don't understand me. I mean, we were extremely lucky to survive this hardship as the only passengers on the train. It is unique we have been selected in a great attempt of natural selection. You see, these immoral writings of Darwin do not explain the secrets of the world. I mean, the laws of natural selection can't be fooled, not in the long run. Since we live, it means we have some features that enable us to survive. So now it will be easier for us to survive rather than for ordinary people? Actually, yes. Although I will probably die of scurvy. Alright, so she says either I think that something will eat you, or your knowledge is almost equal to defeatism. Ugh, that's terrible. They've only made about $300 and haven't had a donation in about 20 days. That's a shame. I don't remember what the original goal was. I'll have to go back and look at that. I do remember thinking that it looked like it was going to be terribly expensive for them to move. That's rough. Alright, the Beast, what's your choice? Yeah, it seems like I've moved so many times, but I live in such an inexpensive area of the country that just seems like a ton to me. He's getting eaten, thus the larva okay. I bet something will eat you, and it'll get scurvy. You made Anna make a joke. Hey, Tomby! Does this mean you have internet? Oh, flying visits still have shitternet. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you can stick around long enough to make a decision on the next day. Tomby, did you get my question about fees? The night is coming to an end. The morning wind brings cold and moisture. In the distance, the deer roaring finally stopped. Did deer roar? When you get up, sleepy as always, you find Alexei in an unusual position. He clears snow on all fours under the medical point. They must be here. They couldn't have gone. What's the matter? Did you have a screw loose? Not this time. Help me look for St. John's wort. There. The bearded man takes out several stems with yellow flowers from under the wooden bed triumphantly. I found a dead bundle a few days ago, but I forgot to tell you. Fortunately, it laid in a warm and shady place, so the flowers did not begin to rot. At this time of year, we will not plant it anymore, but I suggest making an infusion or an alcohol tincture. It will be great for colds, and in combination with vodka, it will chase away melancholy. Alexei, in combination with vodka, everything chases melancholy away. Oh, that's interesting. Do you have any articles on this topic? Only empirical research. They scream weirdly. Oh, okay. I hadn't seen it yet, but I've got way too many things open right now, so I should be 0? Really? Wow. Probably a translation issue. Yeah, I mean, they make, like, weird shrieking sounds sometimes at night. But, I don't think I have ever heard them roar. It is getting... Oh, darn it, the eggs went bad again. It is almost impossible to keep eggs good, which is really strange, because eggs will freeze. And Anna needs water. The berries are going bad, too. I should do something with them. But, for the moment, we'll be going on an expedition. Let's see if I can throw a rock at a rabbit better this time. Nope. No good. Food has been extremely short in this game. Uh-oh. There are fewer trees and you reach the oblong glade. In its central place, there's a big lonely stump. In the Siberian forest, where the ground is always frozen to the depth, the roots of the tree move sideways, and a single arch can cover a vast expanse of land this way. This tree, however, was cut down a long time ago, probably when the railroad ties were being renovated. You look around carefully, but the glade looks safe, so you decide to approach the stump. Perhaps some squirrel was storing its supplies in it. When you approach the stump, you are surprised to see it is full of bullet holes. Chipped pieces of wood are quite fresh. The forest thugs likely practice the accuracy of their shots here. Well, maybe they left something behind. Searching the area in daylight was a great idea. There are a lot of bullet shells in the fallen needles, but the trained eye also noticed some unused ammunition. The renegades probably like to drink when shooting, because what sober person would be inattentive enough to lose valuable bullets? As if to back this up, you find a bottle of fine vodka. You think it couldn't have been better, but you notice the old lock from the shotgun. It's damaged and rusted, but maybe some fixing can be made in the camp from its remains. That's the second time I found ammo and no gun. No! I just want to look for food. Leave the deer alone. Apparently I cannot look for food while there is a deer in that glade. Yeah, they make odd sounds in rut, but I wouldn't call it roaring. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's a very strange description. I agree, I think it's gotta be a translation issue. There are definitely some of those here. Man, we may get down to the point where I have to get them to eat bugs. I don't know what I'm going to do about the fact that I'm going to need, like, metal and cloth at some point. Because they are kind of everywhere. I usually set them to 0 when opening them. How do they make money off it, then? Ooh, I got some arrows. If I could make a bow, I might actually be able to hunt something. Alright. Still looking for food. You are venturing deeper into the... I still don't know how to pronounce this. Taiga, I guess. In search of suitably dry branches when you suddenly hear a sinister sound. You stop, close your eyes, try and locate the source of the sound. Do you think it sounds like a growl or purring? Not good. You don't want to mess with some forest predator. I think I've done this one before. You carefully creep to the place the sound comes from. Wolf! Shouts one of you at the sight of a pile of fur. Not a wolf, it's a lynx. It turns out that behind a fallen trunk, a shot cat is dying. Beautiful animal. But in your situation, it's a source of meat and fur. You finish the predator off and cover your footprints up thoroughly. You have no doubt that the lynx was shot by one of the renegades, maybe even following it on the blood traces. Better not let him know about your presence. I don't know. Eating predators is generally kind of gross, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. Ooh, I got some beans. Uh-oh, my loss probability is getting really high. No, we are not going to try and get honey. I have never tried to get honey. It just strikes me as a terrible idea. I don't think we need the mold, thanks. Returning to camp. Alright, hopefully we got some decent supplies this time. Starting with the fact that we can build the fire up properly now. Okay, no one needs food or water, so what we're gonna do is build a bench. We aren't gonna be able to do it this turn, but next... Well, maybe we will be able to do it this turn. Because Gregory has managed to keep, This character has a chance to save action points when creating tools or weapons. Good to know. Oh, Sugar Pops. We're short a stick. How am I short a stick? Darn it. I was hoping we were going to be able to do the game flame point, because then we can skin the... Then we can skin the cat. But I guess that's not going to happen. And there's the stick I needed. Figures. When in doubt, water. Go in with a little smoke. Bees are chill. Yeah, I didn't have any, though, so... and this is not, like, domesticated bees. These are, you know, wild... kill you because they can bees. Alright. That is the end of... the day. Okay, I feel like... okay, Tomby, are you still here? If so, it's your turn to make a decision. The game said, fuck your ex. Oh, I feel like there's so many jokes there. So our choices are, enough with the singing, Anna is freezing, let's wait for the patrol, a real lady, or hypochondriac. I think Tomby is still here. I hope. I give it about 10 seconds and then you guys get to just jump in and make whatever decision you'd like. Alright, I guess Tomby must have left. So what do you guys think? Which one would you like? Think Tomby got disconnected. Well, it's possible. He's really been struggling lately for... Alright, Hanayama-san says hypochondriac. After so many days, scurvy symptoms should be noticeable. Sleepiness, muscle aches were prelude, and now... Oh, stop with all the moaning. You're such a hypochondriac. Symptoms of frost are more palpable, and before you feel the effects of scurvy, you'll be long gone from starvation. Well, yes, that would be correct. You agree with me? No, I can see your nervousness and fatalism. This is exactly what happens with scurvy, just before effusions appear. Are you a doctor, damn it? No, but I studied medicine for 2 years, or cholera doesn't threaten us here. I'm not sure what cholera has to do with being a doctor, but I feel like there must be some connection that makes sense for this time period or something. Maybe people only went to the doctors for cholera? Studied for 2 years. Alright. No, but I studied medicine for 2 years. Do you know Latin? It so happens that I know. As my uncle used to say, I think that is supposed to translate to physician heal thyself. This is a joke, and one in very bad taste. This is no joke. With this knowledge, instead of feeling sorry for yourself, you should be helping us. Okay. I think we have all the same choices, except we now also are back to having predestination. What do we think? Predestination? Let's negotiate with the renegades. Let's wait for the patrol. Anna is freezing. Or good spirit. Good spirit. Okay. What a cold night. We should make a round of moonshine to warm up. Do we have any alcohol? We should rather keep it for a rainy day. If the thugs get us today, there's no point in saving it for tomorrow. When drink is in, wit is out. If we get too intoxicated, the watches will go to hell. We won't get out of trouble in one piece if we go crazy. We must stay positive and distanced from reality. Let fate decide then. Right pocket or left pocket? Okay, chat. Majority wins. Right pocket or left pocket? One vote for right pocket. One vote for left pocket. Dabeast and Eraser, you're like the only two still active in chat, so you get to be the deciding votes. Two votes for left. And Dabeast says right. Oh, we got two left and two right. All right, there are 7 people watching, so one of you who is lurking needs to one of you who's lurking needs to jump in and be the deciding vote. There are 3 people who haven't voted at all. And somebody left rather than make a decision. Just do a coin toss. Well, left. Show me what you have hidden there. What a shot! 2 bottles are clanking against each other because of the cold. Actually, 1 sip won't hurt. Ugh! What is this infernal liquid? Not my drink. I found it in the luggage compartment. Maybe it's not the exquisite brandy from St. Petersburg, but for this land, it's a delicacy. Right is clearly the right choice. I totally missed that until just now. Alright. Palisade. Oops. Makeshift. Palisade. Why are there so few sticks? And why are these two not getting along? I try really hard not to, do fraternization. I can talk, really I can. Because I think it's a waste of, moves, but man, they're getting along so badly, I'm not sure I've got a choice. Okay. Can I upgrade? I can upgrade this. Alright, let's see about getting the flaying point. so that I can skin that cat. Wow, that was a lot of meat. I did not expect to get that much off that. Well, let's make some stew. Joke's on them, he had alcohol in both pockets. I do think that ends up being the joke. I think I've seen that one before, and I do think that ends up being what the joke is. Alright, I guess I was doing better than I thought I was on the food front. Alright. We'll feed and water everybody, and that'll be a pretty quick day. So everybody get your thinking caps on and your decision-making capabilities going. I think I'm going to save the soup, because these eggs are going to go bad again. I'm really tired of the eggs going bad. Who's still hungry? She is. She's always hungry. Alright. Resting. Okay, a real lady. Anna is freezing. Let's wait for the patrol. Premium non-noctar. Enough with the singing. I guess 2 of these are a chance for Anna to whine. Rio says singing. Alright. Do you know this Ukrainian song about 2 Cossacks who... No! No, quiet! Stop with these songs right now! Maybe another song, then? Or calm down, no rudeness, please. What if he's just been singing the same song over and over again? Maybe another song, then. What's come over you, Sergei? Some family quarrel with Cossacks? I have another song about it. You're completely mad from the booze. They'll hear us. Oh, you're exaggerating. We keep the fires going and leave a lot of footprints. Can you hear me at the greater distance than the glow of a fire can be seen at night? I'm saying from the beginning not to have so much fire. If we can reduce the risk, we must do it. But at what cost, Sergei? I will not convert it into poots and arshings? But my song can help us much more than your caution. In our situation, 1 good night without nightmares means more strength the next day. I keep running into all these terms I don't know what they mean. I feel like I should look them up. If they find us, there won't be a next day. Or sing more quietly, at least. If they find us, there won't be a next day, okay? If they find us, there won't be a next day. Maybe we shouldn't make the campfire, too. Maybe we shouldn't. I don't know. We'd probably freeze without it. In my opinion, a certain dose of risk is necessary, as long as it's not exceeded without a reason. And this is what makes us different. The doses we can take, Sergi. Alright. Predestination. Anna is freezing. Let's wait for the patrol. Demons from the past, or negotiate with renegades. What do we got, folks? Predestination. I was gonna say, I know better than to think that DeBeast and Hanayama-san don't have an opinion. Sergi, don't you think we should have to build a cover again? A cover against snow tomorrow? Ooh, not only do you have opinions, you have the same opinion. That worked well. Indeed, it will be useful. Or does that mean I have to build it? Indeed. Indeed, it will be useful. It is you, Sergi, to whom I turn with this, because... Do I remind you of one of your servants who could always be ordered to some physical work? If you want to know, yes, or of course not. I have to say, she is kind of, like, bitchy and stuck up, but at the same time, if you're going to build a shelter, you want to make sure it's done right, and she's probably not going to be that person. On the other hand, she does not have the messy trait, so, which is kind of amazing. If you want to know, yes. You remind me of my gardener, Ivan, but most of all I speak to you as a man familiar with manual work, which is more important. So this tragedy has supposedly made us all equal, but when you need to chop wood, there is equal and more equal. Well, you turn out to be smarter than my gardener. And I think you need someone more stupid. Keep looking. The cat fighting begins. So the last game I played of this, almost all of the characters were female, and wow. Like, the snarking that went on was just incredible. Like, they were all gonna die just because they could not have a single conversation where someone wasn't bitchy. Usually everyone was bitchy, honestly. Alright, I do not have a whole lot in the way of wood. So, we're gonna try again to see if I can't find some sticks. Ooh, it also looks like I might be able to get at the train tracks for a little while. If she doesn't have an applicable skill, she's dead weight. So sometimes later on, um, if you get enough like fur for everybody to get coats, she gets skills in sewing. Which means she can make more coats with less. Uh-oh. She can make more coats with less material, which can be super valuable. But yeah, she can. She's probably. I mean, they can all be kind of awful at times, but she is definitely my least favorite character in this thing. I mean, I know she turns out more valuable later, but oh lord, it is so hard to get that far with her. I am getting more, like, poisonous and psychedelic mushrooms in this than I think I ever have before. Alright, we do not need moss. Okay, those are a couple of reasonable hauls. That ought to make things easier going forward. I do want to see... There's a way to upgrade... Here we go. I do want to upgrade the water filter to see if... Oh, shoot, I forgot to not have them working together. Oh, darn it. Oh well, too late now. This doubles my water filtration capability, so I have to spend a lot less time. Oh, and Sergi has a hand wound. Do I have any bandages? I do have a bandage, but only one. Oh, sugar pops. Usually I can just use the dressing and it's fine, but apparently in this case he actually needed, like, medical care at the little medical stand. Well, hopefully his hand doesn't fall off before tomorrow. Gregory is sitting on the seat, clearly oh no, I remember this one. Clearly excited. What, comrade? Would you like a drink? You start? The man takes off his cap and pulls out a mysterious bundle from it. I would drink, wouldn't I? But a reasonable fellow knows 3 rules when to limit vodka. On Bartholomew, during a blizzard, Gregory throws the bundle into the fire, and when he has something better than vodka. Smoke hits your nostrils, irritated by frost, and is immediately followed by bliss. What behavior is this? What are you poisoning us with, comrade? Is this some hashish? Is that important? He laughs, and his voice slowly turns into the chatter of a stork. Unexpectedly, it turns out you were sitting on a saucer around a big cup filled with coffee instead of the cold tagia. A huge hand with beautiful signet ring chases you away like flies. It is the Tsar himself who is reaching for the hot drink. Gregory, you'll be awarded the St. George's Second Class Order and 10 years of Siberia for this stunt, the Tsar thunders. And Grisha just chatters in response. Oh, this is when you spend the entire next day or two unable to do anything because you're all messed up. So anyway, Anna's voyage. Anna is freezing, a real lady. Apparently this is a very Anna-centric series of choices. Let's wait for the patrol and premium non-noctur. Noctur? I can't talk today. I think I need more coffee. What are we in the mood for? Voyage. Anna's voyage. Anna, may I ask why you left St. Petersburg? What nerve! In normal circumstances, we wouldn't even have a quick word. Indeed, but normal circumstances ended with the train crash. What inquisitiveness! Do we still have the right to privacy? Earlier, you have mentioned something about the prince and a proposal. I think it could be an extremely interesting story. Fair enough. Maybe I'll at least warm up talking. In the capital, the prince made advances to me. He offered us shelter when we had to leave the residence after the abdication of the Tsar. Let me guess, a prince, so he's probably young and beautiful? He was old, fat, lame, and nasty. He smelled like a horse and laughed the same way. To be honest, this camp seems more attractive to me than a knight in his arms. Alright, smell of conflict, Anna is freezing, wait for the patrol, demons from the past, or the revolutionary borscht. I don't know if that's supposed to mean, like, revolutionary soup or what? Eraser, we haven't heard from you for a while other than your approval of the mushrooms. Do you have an opinion? Alright, I don't seem to be getting any... Oops. Borscht should be funny. Okay, we'll go with that one. Sergi, do you know the story of the Potomacan battleship? You know I'm not a sailor, or it was a sensation. Hey, Natty! Welcome, good morning! I wondered who was lurking in the background. No, Natty! Natty, you have to at least tell me whether or not you want the sailor or sensation. Excellent. You can get eaten by the bear with us. Natty, you can't stop in that quickly and leave again without making one decision at least. Alright, DeBee says sailor. Why are you asking me about it? You know I'm not a sailor. And when the crew of the Potomkin rebelled, I was a little boy. All I know is now fighting near Turkey and it probably even got its old name back. I don't want to condemn anyone, and I understand soldiers who refuse to serve under unworthy officers. Tell me, Sergi, what do soldiers on the front think about such a rebellion? Soldiers on the front usually think about how to survive. Time for political reflection is a luxury we can rarely afford. But you certainly have, dear Sergi, some opinion on these events. My uncle claims that this whole rebellion broke out not against the admirals, but the cooks, because the rascals cooked borscht on old meat and our sailors ran to the privy, as if someone had set their pants on fire. Anyway, probably the crew of a small destroyer or gunboat would not argue, but those from Potomkin were supposed to be the elite of the Russian fleet. The rebellion on board was very politically aware, or from a nasty dinner straight to the pages of history? I mean, honestly, I think more people rebel over bad food than rebel over... I think I'm just gonna pick the food one on this one, because I'm kind of interested. It's very interesting from what you're saying. From a nasty dinner straight to the pages of history. If this is how it works, they will soon erect monuments for us. I think he's implying the food's bad. Darn it, I've been working really hard to get food for them. Wow, almost everyone had to make morale checks. That's rough. What do we got? Oh. So this up here means that there are renegades nearby, so I have to be careful about how high I keep the fire, but it does look like my visibility is still okay. So Anna is the only one who was not affected by the hallucinations. That's kind of funny. Good morning, bear. Well, in this case, the bear eats you, so... I think these spruces should not be pink. Yeah, I guess we're not doing a whole lot today, because... Oops. Oh, I didn't realize there was more than one mushroom. Alright. Hallucinations all around. And she's still hungry again. Darn it. Doesn't seem to matter what I feed this woman. Yeah, I do have to say, I've had games where, like, they end up eating better than I do. Like, on a regular basis. Alright. Oh no! Sergi is so high he can't bandage his own hand. Oh, there we go. Let's see if he can screw up filtering water. He can screw up filtering water. Alright. Well, Anna can drag one of these hallucinating guys off for an attempt at... We'll go in the opposite direction of the bad guys. Apparently trying to build or do anything is going to just be a nightmare at this point, so... Wound dressing, a tuxedo, maybe a cocktail. Not quite what we had in mind, but funny nonetheless. See, this dude is why I really wish that, you know, I was able to make a bow and arrow at this point. Ooh, I don't think I like that. This one says it's safe, even though it's near the... Alright. I guess we made it. Return to camp. Okay. They have to use up their points. But we need to give them tasks that isn't gonna screw anything up. Though apparently even gathering brushwood, he just brought back mold. Because the problem is, like, if I try and cook or anything, it's just gonna waste the, it's just gonna waste the materials. This isn't very likely, but on the off chance they actually make the... yeah, no. Okay, that did not work. I was gonna say, on the off chance this actually works, it would be nice to be able to make bows and arrows. Can he filter water without screwing it up? He cannot. Okay, that day was just an utter waste of time. On to the next one. Amateurs because they don't know how to handle their mushrooms? Was that the case, Eraser? Keep in mind, they did not know that he was giving them mushrooms until they'd, you know, already ingested them. Okay, Bear, since you have not made a decision yet, except, you know, and you're the only one other than Natty who has disappeared on us, you get to make a decision as to what the campfire conversation is going to be. We have Let's Wait for the Patrol, Delusions, Prima Non Nocturna. I've been saying that wrong. Yeah, I'm not even going to try. Anna is Freezing, or A Real Lady. I need my Russian to be better or something if I'm actually going to read these out loud. No excuses. I have no idea what's happening, but Delusion sounds fun. So this guy, Gregory, dropped a bunch of mushrooms in the fire and, like, caused everyone to hallucinate. But what is happening? Why have you come for me? Gregory, what are you insinuating? Leave me alone, you bastards! I have documents! Not good. You're talking nonsense. Is it fever? The papers were in the pocket. Ivosli took them. We must have taken the wrong coats in the theater. You will not take me alive! No, keep away from the fire! Now the darkness will be my shirt. You'll never find me, Carlotta. And Paris will always remember your disgrace. Yes, but I beg you, be a little quieter. Paris remembers. Phew. Alright, well that was crazy. I've never seen that one before. Alright, let's negotiate with renegades. Anna is Freezing, Wait for the Patrol, A Real Lady, or Demons from the Past. Yeah, we'll have to find out with the new day whether or not he, passed out, or is in fact sick, or if he just went to sleep. Alright, Demons from the Past. Tomorrow we must mask our camp better. They could come back at any time. Pretty reasonable considering that they were just right next to the camp. Are you afraid? In this situation, only a fool would not be afraid. Survival is a lottery. I know something about this. Yeah, the little outburst must have sparked some introspection from the rest. Yep. Have you been in another disaster? Or are you talking about what happened on the front? War gas. Our entire platoon had defective mask filters. 2 out of 30 people survived. Me and my friend Sasha. And he died as well near Kovel a week after we'd returned from the field hospital. Was their death your fault? No, but I could have died with them. I didn't deserve to live more than my comrades. Is this the reason to torment yourself, or you should have died then? It absolutely can be. Yeah, and, number 2, you should have died then. You should have died then instead of tormenting us now. Damn it, if survival is a lottery, it's a pity we didn't get a happier soldier. What a dank. You can't deny that now I'm the happiest of the entire platoon. Oof. Brutal. Well, camp morale went down, but it's looking pretty good overall. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're not hallucinating anymore. We do need to do some unsnowing here. And I think I'm going to do some repair while I'm right here. And since he likes working alone, solitary, this character likes to act alone. When they perform bigger actions alone, they increase morale. Well, he definitely could use a morale boost, so we're going to let him keep working alone and do some more repair. The tougher the palisade is, the less likely other things are to take damage. Oh, thank you so much, Bear. I hope your work call goes okay. And I hope it's, you know, something they actually needed as opposed to just one of those, we're here to take up your time. I always hate it when I had to go into work calls that then turned out to be like, you could have just sent me an email and instead you're going to take 2 hours of my workday, and I can't get anything done. Our stuff's falling apart here, so... Alright. Help me out here. One of them had the skill to make weapons better. Does anybody remember who it was? Because I don't. I just remember it coming up. Oh, the meat went bad. Damn it. I thought I had one more day. The guy with the hat. Okay. Bow. Create. And I've got some arrows, but let's make some more anyway. Oh, and he got to keep a point off that one. So I will use that to have him do some more repairs. Good job. I'm glad you remembered that. Thank you. That's one of those that can show up for anybody. So I never remember. Never remember who has it this time. Alright, well that means that next time we are going to be going out with a bow and arrow and see if we can get some meat. So normally, if you have 2 people working on a project, it takes them each 1 action, but you can take one person that has 3 actions and have them do a project on their own. My memory is the bestest in the lands. I mean, you do a pretty good job, I gotta say. Oh yeah, it probably helps if I, get the fire going again, huh? Speaking of which, I should probably sign off soon and get my own fire going again. It's probably gone out at this point because I haven't stocked it in quite some time. Might have to at least take a quick break and just go throw some wood on. It is beginning to get a little bit chilly. Alright. I can now rest 3. I don't know if this one... Yeah, he can't do any. You can use the quarantine point to stop them from getting too tired too, but that one takes an action, whereas the resting doesn't. We have to say it clearly. We're stuck. What do you mean? It's been several days, and we haven't figured out how to get out of the Tagia. On the tracks, it's far away everywhere. The river is non-navigatable. We haven't even found a better place to sleep, because we're only here somewhat hidden, and we have a chance to hear the oncoming train. If it arrives at all, I'm slowly starting to lose hope for that too. We have to accept the fact that we need to expand this camp. We must provide better thatched roofs and wind protection. It's not the time for makeshift. We don't know if we'll be here for a week or a month. That's hysterical, since he's the one who's happier if he's doing the stuff makeshift. Do you think we can survive that long with these thugs around? We are still alive, and that gives us some hope. We are able to face any threat as long as we cooperate and prepare properly instead of passively giving up to fate and waiting for who knows what help. Ooh, nice! Camp morale just shut up with his moving speech. Alright, Anna is freezing. Anthropological lecture. A real lady, smell of conflict, and the one I've been pronouncing wrong the whole time, so I'm gonna stop trying. What do we got? We're gonna go for this one just so I can stop pronouncing it wrong. What are you watching there under your clothes, Alexei? Have you discovered scurvy symptoms? This is not funny. Better safe than sorry. You should also examine yourself or ask someone for help. I care about your health, my friend, and by the way, I would like to note that if you see signs of scurvy, you should stop taking alcohol. Why is that? Would you really like to manage my portion? This is because I know the results of the latest research on this disease. Oh, surprised? What kind of examination, comrade? Please give me the source and summarize the results. This is like a fireside Twitter argument. The French admirals noticed that after exchanging wine for brandy in sailors' rations, scurvy, the plague of long-range cruises, returned. And the source? My dead uncle, who was sailing with the French to Senegal. This is no research, or it's quite likely? Actually, it is quite likely, because wine would be made of grapes and probably have more vitamin C in it. Though they both seem terrible. Which side of the Twitter argument are we taking, folks? It's likely. Okay. So, gossip. But quite lightly. Although we don't know exactly what causes scurvy, we've been dealing with it for over a century by eating fresh fruit. Most doctors agree that the disease is caused by a deficiency of an unknown organic compound. Which is exactly what it turned out to be. So you can drink with scurvy after all? Well, not quite. Brandy and probably other strong alcohols can break up this secret compound in food, and thus indirectly harm. If I discover the symptoms of the disease on myself, I will give away my portion of alcohol. Show your back, Alexei. I will look for abscesses there. I hope you have scurvy so that I can have your booze. Alright, he is the only one who is currently needing morale checks, probably because he was really tired. Day 11. Okay, I think I'm gonna go through day 11, and then I think we're probably gonna call it for now. Probably either early tomorrow morning, or sometime. We'll plug away at it again. Usually takes about 3 days for me to get through a round of this, unless I die, you know, really fast. Which is always possible. We are... Oh, that was a lot of mushrooms. I did not realize there were so many mushrooms. Otherwise, I would have made soup. Boost the fire back up again. And then I think we're gonna go hunting. Well, at least I hope we're gonna go hunting. It's, I forgot that one of the things that's really hard about having the, having them around is that it's really... Oh, there we go. Never mind. I was gonna say it's really hard to find animals. Okay, we missed the first one. Okay, this is not going well. I have never had this bad a... I've never had this bad a stretch. Wow. Apparently I should have sent out different hunters because this is not going well. Make snowshoes and check the body in the swamp. I have never run across that one either. We're gonna return to camp and see if we can make snowshoes. I don't know if I can. I don't think I've ever... I don't think it's ever come up. Okay, so I have to do this in order to make snowshoes. So... Yeah, I've never had to deal with a dead body before. Now the question is... I just built the thing for snowshoes. Oh, snowshoes, there we go. Of course, I don't have enough sticks. Okay, I'm very frustrated. Tools. Snowshoes. Create. Expedition. Snowshoes. Maybe Anna took archery as one of her, like, lady-like classes. Alright, you've returned to the place where one of the renegades drowned. The snowshoes are doing great. You're walking on a mixture of mud and snow as if on solid ground. It's good that this thug didn't make similar shoes. You brace your hands against a long branch and pull the corpse to more stable ground. It's a pity his clothes are no longer suitable for anything, but the belts and the contents of the pockets are precious treasure. He had a knife with him and quite a lot of ammunition. And what is that? He had a stiffener on his leg. He probably sprained his ankle earlier and had problem leaving the swamp. Well, his bad luck. Alright, search even deeper, or that's enough. Snowshoes don't give that much stability. I have never turned up this one, so I have no idea how this one goes. So, what do you think, folks? Rio, is that one from earlier, or is that your answer this time? Hanayama always wants deeper. You need to know when to say enough. The snowshoes are for walking on snow, not carrying loads on a marshy peat bog. When you were rummaging in the swamp for too long, the snowshoes sunk, and you had to leave them so you wouldn't end up like this thug. Well, somehow I ended up with another pair of snowshoes. Alright, let's find out if they're better hunters. I still can't hit the broadside of a barn. It's hard to say what you have hit. The reindeer made a run for it, and after a few leaps it disappeared into the thicket. You look carefully, but there are no traces of blood. This time you failed. Got 2 for the price of 1, yeah. Now if I could just get this stupid reindeer. I feel like I am... Try to throw a knife at the animal. Yeah, that's terrible. Alright, finally. The arrow goes straight into the stag's left eye. The reindeer is unsteady for a moment and then falls dead. Whew. I was beginning to think this entire trip was going to be totally worthless. Okay. I won't get as much off it because I am not having Gregory skin the animal, but at least it will be quick. And... I figured out ages ago that there's absolutely no point in doing anything other than the warm, durable clothes. You get nothing. Yeah, I know, I finally hit something. I've never had that hard a time. It was crazy. Alright, the mushrooms are gonna all go bad, so I'm just gonna feed everybody mushrooms again. I wish I had the drying capability, but I don't have that yet. Oh, and I'm out of water again. What do you think? Can I cure thirst with vodka? I mean, I feel like it can cure his thirst, at least. Alcohol resistant. This character has a lower chance of getting drunk. Imagine that. I have 16 bottles of... well... she is a weak drinker. This character is not a drinking partner. They have a higher chance of getting drunk status. Well, she ended up drunk and she didn't cure her thirst, so that was not a great combination. Eraser, absolutely what? Sorry. Something is lurking in the dark around the camp. You see a pair of eyes that ominously glance in your direction, slowly moving between the trees. Is this a leopard or maybe a lynx? The beast is certainly smaller than a bear, and a wolf would hardly wander alone. When you're wondering what steps are best to take in the event of an attack, the animal makes a quiet snore, and then the eyes disappear in the dark. Maybe in the morning the traces will tell you who the mysterious observer was. Okay, final one. Smell of conflict, drunk tale, bad apple, a real lady, or Anna is freezing. These will be our final choices. At least for today. Vodka can quench thirst. One would think it quenched his thirst, but it didn't quench hers. Apparently she couldn't drink enough. Drunk tales are best. Listen, alcohol has improved my mood a bit, so I will share a story with you, so to speak, on the subject. and it is straight from our train. But nothing about this disaster, I insist. Hey, Ben! Welcome! Nothing, nothing. Well, a crippled man was with us, a veteran, well-dressed. His left leg was wooden. Or was it the right one? Anyway, imagine that from time to time, when he thought no one could see him, he was taking his leg off and pouring brandy from it. He drank, corked it, and put the stump on again. This is absurd. I'm telling you the truth. After all, we have prohibition. It's difficult to buy good alcohol legally. And this old comrade found a way to turn weakness to his favor and hid brandy where no one will look. But that's not all. Well, at one point, this man drank a little too much, and quite confused stations. A bit after Omsk, he suddenly jumped up, having put on a prosthesis before, of course, and limped out of the car. We left with his luggage. Well, I hope the train staff found out about it and somehow sorted it out. I say it's not the end of the story. Well, the next station, the same man got on the train as if nothing had happened. He said he'd confused the stations and would still travel a bit. Impossible. The same man got on our train at the next station? It's hard to confuse someone's characteristic with someone else. In that case, I know the solution to the riddle. He wasn't drunk, but you were. Dude walks around and all you hear is slosh, slosh. All right, Ben, you get to make a decision. Good manners, smell of conflict, Anna is freezing, anthropological lecture, or a real lady? This will be our final one for this round. I assume Yarny will be on shortly. And I will be back tonight. Good manners. Okay. I know the situation is difficult, but that doesn't make us animals. Could you use the leaves instead of wiping everything on your sleeve? It will be useful for us to maintain our civilized habits, so as not to get wild in this remote area. Hey, DeBeast, are you leaving? I hope you have a really good day. Prophetic, welcome! We're in the damn Taiga. Honestly, fuck your civilized habits. Note, this game is not intended for children. You are a vulgar lout. You are swearing like a Moscow cabbie. Let's not go down to the level of these primitive thugs from the woods. Let's show that in these conditions... Okay, carpet someone else. I'm already getting, so to speak, a 4-story mouthful. The ears are cold. If you plug them, you won't hear any more of my insults, and there's nothing to squabble about. Well, it looks like the harsh Siberia is more suitable for you than the lounges in St. Petersburg. Ugh, Anna's so bitchy. Prophetic, I'm afraid you got here just as we were getting ready to wrap up. I need to go throw some wood on the fire before my house freezes, so... things are looking pretty good, though. Morale is okay. The camp morale was better until that round, but it happens eventually anyway. The morning brought a blood-chilling message. Some of the supplies are gone. You glance at each other in gloomy silence, and the question must arise in every head. What would really be worse? A mysterious oppressor able to get unnoticed to the camp, or a thief among you? Okay, so I am going to wrap it there. Thank you very much. I do have to say that as much as some of this was a little rough, I I think overall, this is going better so far than most of the times I've tried to do this run through. So you guys make better choices than me. I think that's all that's, I think that is all that that shows us. Um, so I will be back tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I am doing a topic panel tonight that's aimed mostly at people who are creators or who would like to be creators. So I'm going to have a panel of people who have been published in various genres, mostly games, of course, but some books as well. And just to talk about, how you kind of keep writing, any questions you might have about layout, how you find editors or artists, pretty much anything you can think of. And they will answer your questions. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope everyone comes with lots of questions, because that's pretty much going to be the entire format of the show, is what you guys want to know. Just a reminder that the fundraiser that Tom B set up for me for the computer is up to a whopping $2,100. I am absolutely amazed. And Tom B had set a goal for me to hit 3,000. However, with Black Friday sales going on, if I can manage enough to pay the taxes, because the place I'm looking at buying the computer is in Massachusetts, and Massachusetts taxes are awful. I can almost afford a computer that has all the specs I would like now, except for the taxes. So, yes, thank you, Rio. I hope you have a great day. But anyway, so yeah, hoping for, if we can make another couple $100, then I probably can have the computer by the beginning of the year, which will be super exciting. I have so many plans for games I want to play with everybody. I'll actually be able to participate in, like the Are You Being, or, oh, sorry, Don't Starve, the Don't Starve Together things that they do as groups. There are some video plans I have, and I still owe you guys a Watership Down video, which I have not been able to do because I didn't have the system for it. So I hope that everyone has a great day. I hope I will see you all this evening, at least those that it isn't too late for. And if it is too late for you, I hope you'll catch the replay later. And everyone have an absolutely wonderful day. Sorry, did I see a comment here? Micro Center. Yes, Micro Center. That is what I'm looking at. Someone knows their Massachusetts computer stores. But I hope that everyone has a wonderful day, and I hope to see you tonight. And happy headbutting.